Hello everybody, we are in Westfield Standard Mode South Spawn with sebastianpotachka from the European server in his VK 1602 Leopard for Lighthouse Hall of Fame film. He's platooning with Baldric in his Chaffee, and there's one artillery apiece, 2 scouts on the enemy team and 3 on his. Enemy team has a lot of mediums, only 2 heavies and 4 TDs. His team's a little bit more balanced, 4 heavies, 4 mediums, 3 TDs. And the disparity in heavies is probably going to create an advantage for them up in the Westfield area because they have more heavy armor. However, it's also going to create an advantage for the enemy team with mediums down here in the southeast corner. So it could be a race to see which flank performs best and moves on the cap. He likes to move up here, play peekaboo, peekaboom over the little bowl up there. Especially in mid-tier scouts, very effective. Especially with auto cannons, where you can peek over, dump a clip, and do a decent amount of damage for your tier, and then hide. He peeks over the edge, doesn't get the spots he probably is used to getting when you have more heavies and TDs up here. And what you do is you just find a tank that's looking the other way, pop up, dump a clip, pull back. In this case, without very much support behind them, they're just going to come in here and gangbang the Churchill 3. And now he's going to go over against the Japanese Tiger. He can circle a death this guy all day. Baldric's coming in to help, but he could take him out by himself if he had to. He gave up a shot to get in close. In this case, all it did was damage his tracks. Didn't even track him, just minorly damaged him. And now, within the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the fight, they already control the northwest corner, which is amazing. But the enemy didn't send anybody up here hardly. So they get to move down to town and flank these other people in the southern end of town. There's the Dicker Max looking the other way, so he takes a shot. Now the guy's turning this way, so he has to be careful. It just shot at Baldric. He's going to fire and blind, get a couple more hits. But as they've won the northwest corner, the enemy team's slowly winning the southeast corner, and they're getting a big lead in tanks. They have a 3-tank lead right now. And now the fight has switched from from east to west to north versus south.
Ready to fire. Penetration. Enemy armor is damaged.
He's going to run behind the building, gets hit twice on the way back.
Target released.
Other people trying to snipe him from far away, so I think he's going to opt to move over here on the Type 58, where he gets to isolate a tank. He's looking the other way, pretty certainly to the north against those heavies. He gets an easy kill. This is the key to fighting as a scout if you want to have good missions consistently and win consistently. Once you get past that initial spotting phase and you're not in a portion of the battle later on where you can still spot, if you can find tanks, either isolate them or find them where they're looking at a different tank, you do your team just great favors. Find the tank that's occupied and then abuse it. And you end up with a great record, good stats, Hall of Fame missions, lots of medals. If you try to go one-on-one with bigger tanks head-to-head, or from a distance trying to close on them where they get shots on you, or run around ramming stuff, you end up with not so great a record, not so great stats, and no Hall of Fame missions. Find the tanks that are doing something and then exploit that opportunity. He's dropping back to cover Cat. Finds the Leopard moving in.
Ready to fire. Critical hit.
Has a Dicker Max up there in the woods at the corner of the map that's probably going to finish this guy off.
Where'd they go?
Oh, the OI got him. Leopard got caught. Got way too aggressive. Here comes the T-34.
Ready to fire. Got him.
Now there's the EZ-8 behind him. And the Churchill 8's starting to give indications that he's not in the game right now, man. He's just been sitting there. He's not moving. So he may have a bad connection, or just, who knows, crying baby, screaming wife. I don't know. But right now he's not playing.
Drive on.
And I shouldn't think it's just the negative. Maybe his wife's like molesting his body or something, and so he's totally distracted. Who knows? Maybe it's something positive. His boss just called him and told him he's getting a huge raise and he's too excited to play. I don't know. So Sebastian's coming over here hoping to be able to spot tanks coming toward Cap. Exposes the Hellcat up there. Probably doesn't let him get to the bushes that he wanted to go to, and he's checking this one out and not really happy with it. So he's going to move on. You'll see in a second. Basically, he's trying to cover from this angle over to this angle, and that bush isn't providing enough concealment. So not being stubborn, he's going to move over to a different spot. It's 5-on-5 right now, except their Churchill doesn't appear to be in the game, so even though it's 5-on-5 tanks, more likely it's 4-on-5 drivers. So he's headed back to the north. He's planning on going all the way around and looking for Artie. It's also not a bad idea just to come up here and make sure nobody's trying to sneak around on them. Neither team wants... Ooh, there's the EZ-8. Neither team appears intent on pressing the attack at the moment, and now here comes the Hellcat moved down off the hill. Oh, and it kills the OI. I would have thought the OI would wipe it out. M44 is going, Sebastian, where'd you go? Get back here. comes the Hellcat back. Sebastian's gonna have a good chance to unload a clip back up behind the building. We saw the 304 briefly to the north. He got killed. The Hellcat pauses just enough to let Sebastian reload, and that's going to be the death of the Hellcat. And there is the Dicker Max off in the distance. Easy 8's coming in on his Dicker Max though, so he's losing that support behind him. And now he's dead. He gets to do one clip. It's just not enough to kill him. So now he has to hide again, but now he has the Easy 8 coming in from behind, so he has to worry about getting trapped in the middle. Churchill's still off in La La Land. So now it's basically him and an AFK tank against 3 enemy tanks, and he's in the middle of a sandwich right now, so pretty much worst possible scenario, unless the other tank was here pressing him into a 3-way. Fortunately, they're both low hit points, so he's going to pull around, kill the Easy 8, get behind the building, keep the Dicker Max from taking advantage of it while he reloads. And now he just has to find the Dicker Max, and as long as he gets the first shot, he wins that engagement. And the Churchill's back in action, just in time. So he chooses to withdraw a little bit. He uses vision advantage, view-range advantage, instead of going into those buildings searching him, which is basically playing Russian roulette, because you don't know which way the Dicker Max moved and which way he's pointed, and you're just hoping if you go searching for him down there that you catch him looking the wrong way. You really have no idea. Up here, he gets to see him, take the guy out, no threat to himself in return. One of the things a lot of newer scouts, or less wise scouts, do is, especially in these endgame situations, they fail to take advantage of their view range. You have a huge advantage, especially against the TD and heavy, in how far you can see. So instead of going for a close quarters fight in a situation like that, especially where one shot kills you, move farther out. Let your eyes do the work for you. And it minimizes the exposure you have to getting shot. So he's racing up here hoping to get up to the Nashorn before the Nashorn can kill the Churchill, which looks like is what's going to happen because the Churchill's not defending himself very well. I don't know if he has lag issues or what. He's dead just before Sebastian gets here, so he's cursing, going, man, you only had hung on for 10 more seconds. He still gets to unload a clip, but now the Nashorn can traverse and face him. So again, instead of trying to close in with the Nashorn potentially looking right at him, he's going to circle around, come in from a different direction, and hopefully catch him looking the wrong way. Here comes the Nashorn directly to the south, thinking he just fired, I need to press my advantage. Except Sebastian was ready for him and had moved to a different position, and now the game's over. There's no way the Nashorn is getting a shot. Sebastian could reload 10 times now if he wanted to, and that Nashorn still wouldn't get a shot.
Vehicle destroyed.
There is the game. Sebastian ends up 2,234 damage, 7 kills, 105 and 198 for 55% shooting, got 2 spots, earned 35,157 credits. Oh, I didn't mention he had no assisted damage at all, just because of the way the fight unraveled. He earned 2,039 XP, survived the fight, got a top gun, got 7 kills. Duelist, Fire for Effect, and Bruiser mini medals, and that gives him a battle score of 2,124. Puts him into 13th place in the VK 1602 mission, which is down at the bottom. However, the very next battle we'll see from him is going to put him into 1st place on the Leopard list. So that's something to look forward to. That'll be a battle in Malinovka. And then to tease you even further, the next battle we see after that from him will re-break the record for the 1602, or 1st place. I shouldn't say it's a record, it's just 1st place. And he's going to have two 1st place battles in a row as he increases the top score for that tank. So you saw him move up here. Didn't get to exploit that area as much as normal because the enemy didn't have the tanks to go up there and there weren't as many targets. So they quickly won the northwest while they were losing the southeast, and it turned into a battle back and forth across the valley. And he moved down and just helped light up people and kill people moving into the cap area. Their biggest tank went AFK, and they slowly found themselves falling behind in the race at the end, and relying more and more on their scout to carry the battle for them, which Sebastian is more than happy and more than capable of doing. You saw him 2 different times, instead of going directly toward a TD through buildings to figure out where they are, back off this way to gain distance to where he could spot the Dickermax from afar, get a kill without endangering his own tank, and then after he fires at the Nashorn up here, moves off to the side with the concealment of the buildings to shield what he was doing. And the Nashorn comes in thinking, well, the guy's reloading, I need to find him right away, only to realize too late that Sebastian had anticipated and sidestepped his move, and Sebastian gets the easy path to move in close and prevent the Nashorn from firing at him while he finishes the guy off to secure the victory for his team. Just smart play. Like I said, he could have gone in these buildings down here and just kind of rolled the dice, and 50-50 chance the guy's looking at him or not whenever he figures out where he's at. Could have done the same thing up here with the Nashorn, gone into the buildings and tried to find him. In this case, it would have been more than 50-50 odds that the Nashorn was looking at him when he moved up, because as he moved this way, the Nashorn was moving that way. They would have run in head to head and he probably would have died. Be aware of the situation. Take advantage of the fact that you can see farther than most any other tank in the game. That's a huge advantage for you, but only if you choose to use it as Sebastian did against the Dickermax. Take every possible advantage you have and exploit it when you want to pull off a comeback and a big win. From Westfield, getting 7 kills. Happy hunting.